Hello, Ben here again. It's been 1 year since I've came to you and spoke to you about my chronic bushings disease. Hello, my name is Ben, and I suffer from chronic worn planter bushings. Every year I spend endless hours chasing out worn, broken planter bushings, fixing walled holes, and trying to make my row units work good. Calluses and busted knuckles from hours upon hours of wrenching. But I didn't want to just give up on this old girl. We'd just been through too many acres together just to send her to pasture. When I thought all planter bushings were lost, I found a solution. But in the past year, I've worked hard to win my fight against my chronic bushings disease. Sloppy row units. That one doesn't even have any arms on it. And in the last year, there's been a great mechanical breakthrough in easing my bushings pain.
It about made me tear up.
Yes. Yeah, so welcome back to the good old Southern IA. Today, we're working on the bean planter here, and I'm actually bringing you guys a product which we've talked about already a little bit in this channel. It's by the Precision Planter Solutions. Precision Planter Solution makes the bushing kits for all these planters. Well, I reached out and I said, hey, I want to order some of those arms if you got those arms done, and they said, sure thing, and they shipped me some. Yeah. So here's their arms, if you're wondering where they come from. So last video, or one video not too long ago, we've been installing kits, which are these. You take your old arms, you ream them out with the reamer, and install the kit into your old arms, and then you don't have to buy new arms. They now have, which I think they were just about to have last year, but they didn't, the arms that come set up, ready to rock and roll. Way cool. Granted, this arm's a little beat up, but just a little bit of the difference. Looking at it right here, this arm's built a little bit heavier. The weld on these arms is on the inside of them there. It looks like they actually have a hole and they plunge welded in here. I don't know if that's the technical term for it, but they weld it on the outside. It's then welded on the inside as well. Has the same corner bracket here, but the tabs for your downforce springs, we look at these, there's definitely a difference in between the downforce springs. I assume those still work just fine on the downforce spring. Yep, no issues there whatsoever. So the big upside to this, just without even putting one of them on there yet, is that you save a whole bunch of time in reaming out the holes and everything like that. These you can just replace. We got to ream out the planter. You guys will see that here in a second. And I'm not being paid to make this video. They sent me some arms, but I'm telling you guys this because it works really darn good. We put them on other planter row units last year, and I wish I did the whole planter last year. It would have been rocking and rolling. And so here's where this is going to be important. So there's a lot of guys now that are wanting to, instead of maybe buying a new planter, outfit the planter that they have with all the technology that you can hang onto a planter. You want to put electric drives onto it. You want to put airbags onto it. You want to put hydraulic downforce onto it. Row clutches, different closing wheels. I mean, you could really make these into a princess. Well, the issue is that your planter can only perform so well if it's in spec. First thing is if you don't have a blue planter and you got some other color planter, go sell that planter and buy yourself a blue planter, and you'll be off into a good start. The next thing is before you start spending a bunch of money and dripping a whole bunch of electronics off of your planter, which I am pro putting all of the technology onto your planters, is fix your arms on your planter so that it will plant good. And that's where I firmly believe that arms like this come into play, so that when you spend all that money on your planter to make it plant really darn good, it can actually plant really darn good. So we're gonna put this on pause. No, we're spraying. We got this row unit put back together here. I'd lift it up and show you what's going on, but I've got some more road units that are already disassembled, and that just caused a big mess. So we're not gonna do that. We'll get right back to this video the next time I get a chance to work on this planter.
which is right now, which is actually the first day that we're actually going to try and plant soybeans too. So we better get up and hurry up and change one of these row units. We've already done a few of them. Unfortunately, not going to get all these kits installed, but planting today will at least allow me to get some soybeans in the ground because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. These are the pusher kit arms. The old Kinsey top brackets don't have these tabs that these do. These now have the tabs. I think that's used for like maybe like airbags or something like that. I don't know. On the newer planters, I'd have to look closer at it, but full kit for the front ones. I have not gotten any of the front ones put on yet. We've been working on the back. Finish this out. We're going to put you guys on a time lapse. We're going to tear down this row unit. I'm just going to time and see how long it actually takes to do one of these. Granted, we've done a couple, so we kind of know what we're doing, but I'll give you guys an idea of how long it actually takes to bring down a row unit. Just to show you guys how like sloppy this row unit is. You can see that, you see those arms moving? That's got a lot of slop into it. It won't plant as good. So we're gonna fix up these arms on the time lapse really quickly and show you guys how long it actually takes. Let's get to work. .909, so it's about 40 minutes a row unit, but that's like at a breakneck speed. When we were reaming them all out and replacing the arms, we did three, like a 3 day, you think?
3 felt like a big day.
3 felt like a big day if you were to ream every single one of them out, put them all back together. That's actually quite a bit of work. With these, how many do you think you could do a day with these? Probably one every hour and a half or something like that.
At least double that, if not more.
Yeah, with 2 men.
Let's work on banker hours.
Yeah. The tools that we use to do this job. You don't need a peanut butter sandwich and a coffee, but you could have that if you wanted to. That's my breakfast. I still haven't gotten it eaten yet. Okay, drills. 2 drills would be nice to have if you had 2 drills laying around. The reamers, you got to get supplied with reamers. Talk to them about that if you're interested in the kit. They'll send you the right stuff. An impact. Don't really use the impact to tighten it up, but it makes it a lot quicker if you were zipping in and out the bolts. A bit quicker with that. That helps quite a bit. You need a torque wrench, one that can go up to 150 pounds. This one can. This one can't. This one goes up to 100, but it can be used on the jam nut. If you have 2 torque wrenches, that's pretty nice. You can have one set at the 150 and one set at the 100. For the torque specs, you need an 1.25" wrench and a 15/16 wrench. A pair of those, well, you don't need 2 of these, but 2 15/16 would be nice. 90-degree drill works really good for when you're reaming out your holes, especially if you find one that apparently has a detachable junk. Sockets, you're going to want that 1.25" socket again, a 15/16 short one, and a 15/16 long one. I guess you really don't need the long one if you had the short one. If you had some swivel sockets, I don't have that big of swivel sockets, but I'd say a set of swivel sockets would be really darn nice. And then you're going to want a breaker bar with a 15/16 socket on it, because that's what you have to use to get into spots like this where you're holding on to the socket itself, where the bolt, where the box parts go back on. If you guys have any questions about any of this kit, give Precision Planter Solutions a call. Talk to them. They'll tell you what you need. They're great guys. I want to thank them for sending me these arms. We'll be getting more of these arms because they work great. They do. They work great. So thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hopefully maybe this could help you guys with your worn out planter arms as well. We'll see you next time.
Magical box, he says. When that opens, there's food that comes out of there.